Imagine paying like $10,000 for a single box that doesn't even make a sound. It doesn't light up a screen, and it basically lives its entire life locked in a dark closet. Welcome to today's deep dive, where we are doing exactly that, decoding the Kramer 3232VS-XL matrix switcher. We want to show you how massive AV setups actually function behind the scenes.
Yeah, it is wild to think about. You can think of this piece of equipment like, well, like an elite air traffic control tower.
Right, but instead of routing airplanes, it's managing this massive, chaotic web of composite video and analog audio signals.
Exactly. And keeping all those signals from crashing into each other requires some serious hardware.
Yeah.
When you look at the specs for this Latin XL series device, the sheer capacity is just staggering. I mean, it's a 32 by 32 switcher.
Wait, so that means it takes in 32 separate video inputs and 32 stereo audio inputs and routes them to 32 corresponding outputs, all at the same time?
Yep, all at once. And all of this fits right into a 3RU frame.
Which, for those of you out there not building equipment racks, that just means it takes up a little over 5 inches of vertical space. But I have to push back here for a second. Almost $10,000 for composite video and analog audio.
Well, yeah, I know it sounds crazy in an era where everyone is just using digital HDMI or, running things over fiber networks.
Right, so why is a massive venue dropping big money to route analog signals?
So in these sprawling live venues or giant sports bars, you often have literally miles of existing copper cable and legacy broadcast equipment. You can't just rip all that out overnight. But running analog over those long distances creates this massive physics problem.
Oh, right, because analog signals naturally lose their punch over long copper cables, don't they?
Exactly. By the time the audio reaches the speaker on the absolute other side of the building, it could just be like faint static.
Which brings up a question about signal degradation. With 32 different streams pouring into this relatively small box all at once, doesn't the signal just get completely blown out or distorted?
You'd think so, but not with this unit. And honestly, that's exactly why you pay for professional grade gear. It doesn't just passively pass the signal along and cross its fingers.
So it actively boosts it.
Yes, it actively injects power back into the signal. Or, on the flip side, it dampens it if it's too hot. That's what the built-in input and output gain and attenuation actually do.
Oh, wow. So it actively manages the signal strength.
Right, pushing up to plus 24 dB for max audio source levels. So it actually overcomes the physical resistance in the cables, ensuring the audio arrives crystal clear and the video stays totally sharp.
Okay, so it's basically muscling the signal through the copper. But the real magic here isn't just brute force, is it? It's how it divides and conquers. I want to talk about breakaway stereo audio switching.
Oh yeah, this is where it gets really clever. So normally, video and audio travel together, right? Like a paired package.
Right.
But with this Kramer unit, the video, the left audio channel, and the right audio channel can all be completely detached from each other and routed independently.
That is wild. It's almost like a hyper-efficient postal sorting facility. But instead of whole packages moving together, you can magically rip the box apart, send the cardboard shell to New York, the bubble wrap to LA, and the actual item inside to Chicago.
That is a great way to put it. And it happens instantly without losing a single piece of the data.
So you could, say, send the visual of a fight to screen A, the left ear broadcast audio to zone B, and the right ear audio of a totally different game to zone C.
Exactly. That exact level of granular control is how a complex venue creates those highly customized sensory environments for you.
But I mean, giving a venue 32 separate independent audio and video channels is kind of a double-edged sword. If you don't have a reliable way to control it, isn't that just a recipe for crossed wires?
No, absolutely.
So how does a human actually tame this beast without needing an engineering degree?
Well, you can manage it directly from the front panel, but realistically, in a big venue, it's going to be integrated into a broader digital control system.
Using Ethernet and stuff like that.
Yeah, Ethernet or serial ports like RS-232 and RS-422. Basically, these are standard communication protocols that let the venue's central computer talk directly to the switcher.
Which actually highlights a pretty harsh reality of the pro AV world, right? The hardware is really only half the battle.
Totally. We saw this in the sources with the vendor, HDTV Supply.
Right. They've been around for 25 years. They have over 10,000 positive reviews. And customers specifically praise reps, like someone named Rachel, who catch configuration errors before the hardware ever ships.
Because if a vendor doesn't act as a safety net, an entire venue's launch could literally be derailed by a single mismatched pinout.
That sounds incredibly stressful.
It is. Buying something this complex really requires a human element to ensure the configuration actually matches this specific nightmare of cables hidden in your walls.
So at the end of the day, the Kramer 3232VS-XL isn't just a heavy box of connections. It really is the invisible central nervous system making these massive, complex media environments possible.
Exactly. It's processing, boosting, and splitting dozens of inputs simultaneously, and never dropping a frame or a note.
But it does leave you wondering, as venues inevitably move entirely to digital IP-based networks over time, how long will these analog hardware workhorses remain the unsung heroes of our live events?
Yeah, it's a huge question. And what exactly replaces that kind of bulletproof reliability when they finally go?
Something for you to mull over the next time you're at a perfectly synced massive sports bar. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.